What are your thoughts on how COVID is changing retail? What are the implications to retailers and to the people that serve retail?
Well, this is actually going to be a short answer.
Mm,
It teaches us two things. Adaptability is the key to survival. Differentiation is the key to thriving. That's it. That's what it's taught us. Because
differentiation is the key to thriving. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Can
everybody
you
has
unpack
to.
that a bit?
Yeah, so everybody has to adapt, and they've been forced to adapt. You
Yeah.
look at buy online, pick up in store, or even more so, curbside pickup. Um, Retailers, had 1, 2, 3, 5 year plans to kind of get into that slowly, and then COVID happened, and it had to, go overnight. I mean, Kohl's is probably a pretty good example. They were tinkering, I believe that's the word they used on their call, but they had a handful of stores where they were, basically testing it out, and virtually overnight, within weeks, a month or so, they had uh, curbside pickup at all their locations. Now that wasn't in their plans, but it was an absolute necessity because retailers like Kohl's in the U.S. were not deemed essential retailers at that time, and they were forced to close their stores. You know,
Right.
and some retailers, Best Buy, for example, Lululemon also did it. Started doing appointments online, or appointments to show up and shop so that they could minimize traffic in stores. Um, so they, I think all retailers kind of had uh, to make it up as they went. In some cases, they already had plans, and some of it was from scratch. But the it's an interesting thing. We're actually running an article today on their site about drugstores and what will they do now that they're not doing vaccinations and a lot of COVID tests and stuff, because the
Mm.
cases are dropping here in the U.S. Well, the same day that we're running this story, there's news about a test in Japan by researchers in Japan that show that a subvariant of Omicron may spread more. It may actually be more deadly
Oh
than
my goodness.
than Omicron. So every single we had Delta. We thought we were kind of over that, and then Omicron came. So every time we think that we have this solved, something else has come up, and it's convenient for people to blame public health officials, but the reality is most of them have told us that this sort of thing is going to happen until we reach herd immunity, and
Yes.
frankly, we'll never do that because we don't have enough people either getting vaccinated to build up resistance to it, or infected to do it to
Right.
get to that level. So variants are going to continue to happen. We
Yeah.
just if you're religious, you pray that won't happen, and if you're not religious, I'm not sure what you do. You just hope for a better day, I guess. But there you have
Indeed. I mean, one of the things that it seems to have done is really im- change the balance of power between the staff and the management. My youngest son is taking a gap year between high school and college, and so he's working in retail. And the local one of the local employers, we're in San Diego, is the San Diego Zoo, San Diego Wild Animal Park. They're offering a $1,200 signing on bonus if you sign up for retail. That's just incredible, and that's gotta have a whole bunch of impacts. I mean, we see it at Williot with the kind of push to automation. Is that something that you're seeing too?
Oh yeah, I mean it. I think I said earlier. Frontline associates save their bacon. It's as simple as that. And the reality is that um, between people being infected with COVID or having dropped out of the workforce because schedules didn't permit them to provide child care for their their kids or just over fear about becoming ill themselves, or frankly, working in retail has become kind of a dangerous occupation in some cases. You have a lot of people who are picking on the wrong people to try to make a point these days, and verbal abuse is not unusual, and even physical abuse has taken place where people have gotten really hurt. Um, I think it's hard to turn the lights on in a store when you don't have anybody to turn the lights on.
Right.
The frontline workers really are the single biggest asset that any retail organization has. And the fact of the matter is that a really good associate in a store can cement customer relationships more than any loyalty program can, any sale can. I have lots of stories like that, it's the good news, I guess, is that I think a lot of retailers have had the light bulb go off. Investments in training have gone way up, at least among major retailers.
Mm-hmm.
An understanding about flexible scheduling has also improved, because haphazard scheduling, particularly for part-time employees, has always been a problem, and they've just expected lots of turnover. And I think some retailers, Walmart is one, has gone where more of their workers, a percentage of the workers, are now full-timers than part-timers. And that builds continuity. You have experience. You have people who are really invested, because if you're working full-time in a position, the chances are you've decided that this is your occupation. This is not just a job, right? And things like career advancement and that are on your mind. And if you've got a company interacting with you that way, you're going to put that much into it. So
yeah. Absolutely. I mean, as a technologist, I always feel a bit guilty about, is this putting someone out of a job? But I'm actually now really optimistic that what we're doing is taking care of the hygiene factors. It's like inventory. Do you actually know what's in stock? Do you really know where it is? And that's the kind of thing where auto ID technology that a whole number of us have been peddling can really help. But And I do think that there is pressure to reduce the number of staff in stores, but not to eliminate them. I'm not seeing retailers that want to get rid of all of the staff and just have robots. Maybe there are some, but I don't think that's what Walmart want to do. What I see, you see the Costco's, and going to Costco, I look forward to it, and part of the reason is that you're in an environment where people have been working there for decades, and they're good at their job, they're competent, and they're engaged, and it's a human experience. I love going to our local CVS. The guy that serves there, he's featured in the local news online bulletin boards because he's such a character, and people come to the local CVS because of him. I go to the local Einstein Bagel because they know my name, and that's part of my Sunday morning ritual. So if if the automation can take care of the basics, so you're not annoyed because when you do go to buy that last COVID test, it's actually in stock, then I think that's where it is. And so I'm actually pretty optimistic.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Mr. Beacon podcast here on YouTube. You can listen to the rest of this episode on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed it, please like and share this video, and be sure to subscribe for more weekly videos. For more information about Wiliot and IoT Pixels, head on over to wiliot.com.